Hi everybody, Douglas Hartman here with Airbrush Artistry. Back to talk about some upcoming projects that I'm going to be working on and that I'm actually currently still working on. Some of you are probably wondering, where the hell have you been? Well, you know, life happens. Anyway, let's get right down to it. So, some projects that I've currently still working on. For those of you that have been following me, still working on this guy here. Okay, on Mr. Demon Skull, and so he's still in the works. Christmas is around the corner, and so when you're an airbrush artist, one of the things that you can do, I do this for my stepson and my grandson. Right here we've got a Venom t-shirt that I'm going to be doing for my 8-year-old grandson. He's just now got into Spider-Man and whatnot, and so that'll be a cool thing for him. And then I'm also doing, I'm going to be doing a shirt for myself. As though some of you know, yes, I really do want to focus on that. As I have a nerd side to me. I love playing Dungeons and Dragons. I'm a dungeon master, and I'm currently going through Phandelver and the Shattered Obelisk, which means absolutely nobody to somebody who's not into Dungeons and Dragons. And so what I did was come down here, took some paper, and did a rough sketch of a Mindflayer head, and I cut them out, and I took the negative space in the paper, taped it up to the t-shirt, and painted it white. Okay, opaque white. Yes, I do still want to focus on that. Thank you very much, phone. And what I'm going to do then is I will transfer the line drawing that I have on here, and I will transfer it up to here, and then I'll go from there. It's going to look really, really cool. And then once the head is done, yeah, I still really do want to focus on that. Thank you kindly. My phone's being a bitch. Anyway, once I get that in, then I will take for his cape and whatnot, the thing he's going to be wearing, and I'll use just white highlights to outline the edges and some of the highlights. It'll have a really cool effect. I did the same thing when I did Darth Vader for my stepson, and it turned out great. Another thing I've got going on is this guy here. I got a 2 foot wide, well, it's 2 foot by 4 foot canvas, and this is the first time I've ever actually put gesso on the canvas and sanded it down, smoothed it out. As well, it's my first rodeo with this thing. Obviously the edges is pretty rough, but I sanded it down. Have yet to determine exactly what I'm going to put on there, but I got some miniatures here, D&D miniatures, and I've got this Mindflayer miniature right here, and that make sure it's focusing. Focus. Yeah, it's focusing. That pose right there would look really, really cool. Cropped, not the whole thing, but cut them off about at the knees. It would fit beautifully on that canvas. And then I also got this zombie beholder miniature, and this guy is just bitching. And so actually he would look really cool too, but really good chance that I am going to go ahead with Mr. Mindflayer there. Really excited about that. All right, so let's talk about this t-shirt here real quick. Yep, sorry, I got to do a little, get the camera mounted up here so I can talk to you all. And hopefully this is focus. Come on now. Don't be like that. My phone is being wiggy on me here. Come on, man. Anyway, hopefully when I get in front of the camera, yeah, I'll be focused as well. I'm hoping this is going to turn out all right. Anyway, so what I'm going to do with this t-shirt, my process of doing t-shirts, all right? So after I sprayed this with white, I heat pressed it. I got one of those, clam type heat presses, and I heat press it, all right? And so what it does when you heat press it, it just sets the color in. And another thing you can do is I went over it with transparent base, heat set that as well. And what that does is just smooths out your t-shirt. It takes the nap of the t-shirt and just compresses it. So when you're airbrushing on it, it's nice, the texture is more nice and smooth. And speaking of textures, these Mindflayers, unlike the Goblin that I did, the Mindflayers, they're kind of slimy and smooth, almost kind of slug-like, I guess. They got, and so the texture is going to be completely different. It's got a lot smoother texture to it, not a lot of nooks and crannies, and not a lot of wrinkles. But what I will do is I'll go through the colors that I have, and I'll pick out a lot of blues, violets, some reds, in lighter tones, and I will put opaques down first. Okay, opaques. Okay, so transparent color, add white to it, bam, you have an opaque color. And what it does, is it a scientific proven fact? I have no idea, but it's been my experience with opaque colors. I'm able to just saturate the t-shirt with that color a lot better than if I'm using transparents. So what I'll do is I will use that color and just to get the base on it, and I'll heat press that again and heat set it. The fun part goes into when I use transparent colors in there to develop my value range. Okay, remember with opaque colors, doesn't matter how many layers you put on it, the value will never change. Okay, with transparent colors, the more layers you put on, the darker the value of that color will become. So you can really get into creating form and shapes with value changes with the transparent colors on the same. And so the transparent colors over opaques will really help that color pop, and it just looks really, really good. And so I can't remember the last time I did a t-shirt for myself, and so I'm super stoked about getting that thing done. And I will probably use, because the Wicked, Createx Wicked and Wicked Detail colors I have a broader range of blues, violets, and reds in there, in that mix than I do the illustration colors. I'll probably use Wicked colors, the detail, or just plain Wicked colors on this guy. I'll lay the opaques in. I'll use the Awada HPC Plus. It has that 0.3 millimeter needle and nozzle setup. Because it's a little bit larger, I don't have to reduce it as much, so I can really saturate the color in there. When I start getting into more detail work, I'll probably, I won't use my micron. I'll probably just switch over to the HP B Plus, so it has the 0.2 needle and nozzle setup, which is exactly the airbrush that I've been using on Mr. Scully. I've been using the HP B Plus with a 2.2 millimeter needle and nozzle setup on him, and you can get tremendous amount of detail with it. When you reduce your paints well and adjust your air pressure right, you can really get in there and get good detail. And so looking forward to that. Looking forward to all these projects really, and just getting back into doing more artwork. I know I've been lazy is what they call it. Procrastination. You come home from work you take a shower, you sit on the couch, eat supper, and watch TV, and then you go to bed. And the next day, you do the same thing. Um, it's hard to get any work done airbrush wise when you're doing that. And so I need to get off my ass and get back into doing airbrush work. I've got a talent. I need to use it, right? Any cahoots. I really look forward to getting back into doing more videos and doing more artwork. I love doing artwork. And I hope you guys are out there painting some shit, man. And thanks again for all my subscribers and just hanging in there with me. All right. Peace out.